Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. And this is something I've never done before, is actually a reaction to a tweet that I just read from none other than Jon Prosser himself, commenting on the kind of the news that I talked about yesterday of Xiaomi overtaking Apple to the number 3 spot in the smartphone world. And John's tweet has been kind of blowing up, and I'm not going to kind of just show you the tweet right here, but just kind of summarize what he said. And his reaction was basically, so this is the same Xiaomi, basically, that releases a phone, and not just any phone, a shit phone every week. So whoop-de-doo that Xiaomi is overtaking Apple because it releases basically shit every week. And on top of that, then he kind of followed up with a tweet saying, I don't mean to say that every Xiaomi phone is garbage. I just mean to say that most of them are garbage. This basically has created kind of a big storm, obviously, and a big reaction, I think, to a lot of Xiaomi users out there, a lot of Xiaomi fans. I myself included, I'm a big user of Xiaomi phones. Like, for example, this Mi 10T Pro, which is a terrific device. And I've loved a lot of Xiaomi devices. Guys, I've reviewed more Xiaomi devices than any other kind of company on this, like basically any other company on this channel. And yet at the same time, you may know, I started filming actually this entire channel on my iPhone 10. That's how I got started. The first 6 months of this channel were filmed on an iPhone. I use an iMac, you can see back here, for all my editing. I've been using Apple products since I was 9 years old. My first computer was a Macintosh. I had the original iPod in 2001. I go way back with my Apple products. And so I feel kind of in this unique position to kind of share my insights as someone who is a lover of both iPhone and Android. And I really, truly do love both. And this idea that, the whole point of a tweet I just dropped earlier, which was why is it that we feel the need to, if we like one side, to have to bash the other side? I just don't get it. And this is the kind of tweet that I feel, much respect to Jon for a lot of the work he does, a lot of the leak stuff he does. I've watched his channel sometimes. Sometimes I disagree with him. Sometimes I agree with his stuff. He's hilarious. Jon, you're a hilarious dude. But I think your take here is wrong. And it kind of is feeding into this whole approach of if you like one, you have to bash the other. There are good things to like about both Xiaomi phones and iPhones. One thing that's great about Xiaomi phones is just their ultimate value, their incredible value that they offer. They're just, they really are the reason why I love these phones. That's a big part of it, is because what you're getting here for the price is really impressive. And it's not just, the hardware, it's the software too. MIUI 12 is actually a really good piece of software. It has come a long way. I don't know how much you've used MIUI in the past, but let me tell you, from my experience, this is a much better version of the software that exists now than did, 2, 3, 5 years ago. Meanwhile, with iPhone, iOS, iPhones are, let's just say we can call them the de facto phones in the US. They really are, I think, 50% of the market in the US use iPhones. 4S was my first one, but then I went back and bought all the other iPhones. And I've used pretty much every single iPhone. I know what iPhones are through and through. I use them daily. And yet I can tell you there's a lot to appreciate from Xiaomi and from the phones they create. They create great stuff. And to kind of just discount the entire company and all the efforts that they do. Now, let's face it, certain aspects of their strategy I also disagree with. I think the naming schemes are very confusing right now. I think, for example, there's too many models. It is true. It's funny, though. I don't think just because they release so many models that they're bad phones, but maybe it's the releasing of so many phones that does get people confused. And I do think that maybe Xiaomi needs to kind of, tighten it up a little bit in 2021 to kind of think about a different naming scheme, perhaps, where they can release more phones of this quality, like the Mi 10T Pro, or like the Mi 10 Ultra, or like the Poco F2 Pro. Great devices, but there's a reason why they just overtook Apple. Let's face it, they are doing something right, and they have a very reactive approach to the market. They're creating really great price points for their phones, competing with what every other company is doing, both iPhone, both Apple, Samsung, across the board, OnePlus, all of them. Let's face it, it's not going to be for everyone. And I think people are going to have their opinions on stuff, but I just think the whole approach of, having to kind of put down one side to appreciate the other, it's juvenile, man. It's just juvenile, and honestly, it doesn't help. And it actually just gets people even more obsessed with their kind of and siloed in their places. I don't know. I think Jon, his style is to kind of be pretty brash, abrasive in his delivery of his thoughts on Twitter. He has no pause to like think whether that's going to be a good take or not. That's just his style. And you know what? Mad respect if, that works for him. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of things you can love from both sides. And from someone who loves both iPhone, Android, Xiaomi included, I think we can appreciate a lot of things from both of these terrific companies, both Apple and from Xiaomi. The reality is Apple needs the competition and it'll only make them do better. Apple, the iPhones that we see in the next couple years will only be better because of the competition that we see from the Android side. And as a longtime iPhone and Android user, I really think it's the best of both worlds to like both. And I really do hope that more people did, because they would see there's a lot you can appreciate from both sides. Anyways, that's it for this kind of rant reaction. I'm not trying to get into any kind of back and forth here, but just wanted to share my thoughts on this tweet and really kind of just on the whole story of why there's so much kind of tension between loving one side and loving the other, or hating one side and hating the other. I don't think it needs to exist. I think, and I really do wish that, I could cover iPhones very kind of equally on my channel and have just as much praise for their products as I do for all the Xiaomi devices I cover here on Frankie Tech as well. But anyways, just my 2 cents, wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully this doesn't blow up, but just wanted to share with my close audience here. And, hit me up in the comments too. What are your thoughts on this kind of argument of, Xiaomi overtaking Apple? Is it truly worthy of overtaking Apple? And what are your just thoughts in general on this kind of whole fiasco that we've seen happen today? Anyways, that's it for this one. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching, guys. And I don't have it here, but happy Halloween. Dang, I left my costume outside. Hope you guys have a great Halloween, great weekend, and I will see you very soon. So that's it. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one.